welcome back to the NSUSpartans.com Football Coaches Show, here for the week of October 4th with NSU football coach Pete Adrian. How are you doing this afternoon, Coach?
Good, Matt, and you?
Doing very well. Last time we talked a couple weeks ago, you were getting ready for your first or second MEAC contest, first road contest at Bethune-Cookman. A game the Spartans ultimately dropped 21-7. Falling a bit of an early hole there at Bethune-Cookman. What did you see that kind of was the difference there for you, especially early when they got out to that big early lead?
Well, we needed to make better plays on defense, and we didn't do it. We were our own worst enemy a couple times and made some mental mistakes and got out of some stuff we were going to do technique-wise. And once we got that squared away, we did a pretty good job the rest of the game. Damage had been done, but defense came back, played strong for 3 quarters, and we had a chance to win the football game. We were in the red zone 4 times and only scored 1 time, but we kept it in perspective. And I guess since they put 69 points on Morgan the other day and have scored 70 points, that we didn't play too bad.
Sure thing. Now, as you said, the offense had some good chances in the second half. They got in the end zone 1 time on a touchdown run by Takeem Hedgeman, but just had a little bit of a hard time finishing off some drives. What do you attribute that to?
Well, at the same time, at the time of the game, you got to make certain plays on both sides of the football. And we were there. It wasn't that we played a horrible game. We certainly didn't. But when we needed to make a 4th and 1, we didn't do it. We needed 4th and 3, we didn't do it. And some of them were just some crazy things. The receivers got to keep running. It's a touchdown. Walk the right guy. It's a touchdown. And but that's football. That's why you have to go out and do it on the field.
And special teams also had a couple little missteps there with a blocked punt and a missed field goal. I'm sure those are some things that you wanted to address in practice during your bye week last week.
Well, the blocked punt was due to a snap. We had a bad snap. Again, rolled it down, and the time you pick it up and get it up, we got to protect better inside. Field goal, it's a little tough when you 42-yard and hit the upright. So it was close like that. But then our kicking game, our kickoff, our onside kick was a huge play. Got the ball on the 36-yard line against them. Our coverage was good throughout the day. So there were some good spots on that side of it too.
Now, I guess one silver lining too is that you had the week off after that. You could get right back into the film room and kind of address some things, I guess. What were some of the other objectives that you had for your bye week last week?
Well, we were going to try to spend a little more time working on South Carolina State. We spent most of the time trying to swim. It was so wet here, and we only actually practiced twice last week. Of course, we had meetings and weightlifting and stuff. So from a mental standpoint, we got some pretty good preparation, and from a health standpoint, we're in pretty good shape.
Sure. Now, looking ahead to this week, South Carolina State, obviously another big MEAC road contest. The Bulldogs on a bit of a roll right now. What are some of the keys for your team this week to come back with a victory?
Well, we're going to have to play the best game we've played probably since I've been here. South Carolina State was the #1 team in the country in black college football. They've won 20 straight ball games. They're loaded with veterans. They have no weaknesses. Their defense is a swarming defense. In fact, I think it's #1 in the country, and giving up 171 yards a game, which is unheard of. Offensively, they got the best quarterback in the league. They've got all 5 starting offensive linemen back, 3 who were first-team all-conference. They got a wide receiver who's excellent with speed, and they got the 2 tailbacks. Well, I think both of them were transfer kids. One from the Citadel, I'm not sure where the other one was from, but got excellent speed. So, and they've got depth. And that's one reason why you win 20 in a row for what they've got. They've got everything rolling for them. And, we're going to have to play a great game on defense. We're going to have to control the ball some and move the ball and score. You're not going to beat these guys without scoring. And by scoring, I don't mean 7 points or 10 points. You're going to put some points on the board, and no one's been able to do that in this conference in a couple of years. They shut FAMU out at FAMU. That says enough alone, because FAMU's supposed to be the #2 team, and you saw what happened.
Now, you mentioned FAMU. South Carolina State was able to win that game in a big contest on TV last week. Did that give your team a little bit of a chance to kind of take a step back and watch them a little bit more and maybe get a little better idea of what it is they're trying to do?
No, it's the same every week. You got 3 or 4 films on your opponent. That's why we spend so much time watching film and studying your opponent each week that you have. And the thing about FAMU probably helped us a little bit. They play a little more 30 defense like we do. So again, we see blocking schemes, but we've played South Carolina State enough that they know what we're going to do and we know what they're going to do. It's a question of going out and you got to execute.
Now, looking back at the last time the teams played in Orangeburg, it was a 1-point game 2 years ago. Could have gone either way. Does that give your team a little bit of confidence, maybe some of the veterans who were on that team 2 years ago?
Well, some of the guys are around. If we made the field goal in the 4th quarter, we probably won the football game. And we played very well, and that's the same type of effort we're going to have again, like we did up there. And even there we made 2 mistakes during the game, and it cost us from a defensive standpoint because it was the only 2 runs that the Ford kid had all day long that meant anything.
Sure. Well, we certainly thank you for joining us today, and
Always my pleasure.
look forward to the game this Saturday. I hope the Spartan fans can be in attendance, and if not, the game is available online for audio streaming at nsuspartans.com or on the NSU Sports Network, 91.1 FM and 102.1 FM. The game. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next week.